No. That's wrong. Dixie Diamonds, 51. Lakeland Quarry, northeast of Cooktown, 1:17 p.m. From Ed and Liz's perspective, Edward's call to Balloony connected immediately, and Balloony's response of, "You wrong," was a spot-on imitation of the 1960s Addams Family television show's Lurch, as portrayed by Ted Cassidy. Lizzie smiled as Edward laughed aloud at Balloony's response. "Cara mia," Ed replied in a fair imitation of John Aslan's Gomez Addams before saying, "Liz and I were hoping against all odds that you might have heard something about or even from your friend Dr. Rosier." "Nothing so far from either Rosie or Karen," Balloony replied. "I see you're about 66 kilometers from Cooktown. How long before you're in Dixie?" it asked. "Lizzie and I were just discussing that," Ed said with a smile and a wink towards his beloved bride. "I'm afraid I'm chomping at the bit a bit too much, and Liz has found my driving to be a bit disconcerting at times. We've slowed for a spot of civilization, but should be leaving that behind us very soon and be out in the great wide open again. Less than a dozen K and we'll be in the clear, so I should be able to pick up speed a bit without causing poor Lizzie's hands to cramp." "Hands to cramp?" Balloony asked. "I don't understand." "Ed's being a bit of a goller," Liz said, looking at her husband, smiling, rolling her eyes, and shaking her head all at the same time. "The expression is white knuckle when someone clenches one's fist so hard from fear that the circulation is diminished. We may have been discussing his driving just before we contacted you." "Ah," Balloony replied. "Got it. So what in particular made you want to chat? Not that you need a reason. I greatly enjoy hearing you two go back and forth with one another." "Back and forth," Lizzie exclaimed with a laugh. "Ouch, you make us sound bitter." "Bitter?" Ed asked with a laugh, his pronunciation and enunciation sounding far more like a German than an Aussie. "Only if you're speaking German and spell it B-I-T-T-E, my love. I'm eternally pleased by you, not bitter. By the way, Big B," Ed continued, "first you blow us away with your opening introduction to the Outer Limits, and now it's Lurch from the Addams Family. How much television do you watch?" "I used to watch quite a bit when Brentsy held me captive," Balloony replied, voice sad. "Odds are good that if Brentsy is awake and not actively trying to harm someone, he's watching television. When he had me caged, I watched a lot of television too." "Oh," Lizzie exhaled, "the more I hear about this Brentsy, the less I like him." "No doubt about that," Ed said. "Was it all old reruns?" Balloony emitted the equivalent of a chuckle. "No, but quite a bit. Was there anything in particular we were supposed to discuss?" "Not that there need be." "Perhaps," Lizzie replied, stealing a glance towards Edward. "Driving along, Ed and I were discussing your pronouns. You know, it and its, and, well, we just wanted to know how you felt about them." "It's just, well, being human and being brought up in a time and place where only inanimate things were called it," Liz explained. "It means that we have baggage when we hear someone being called it, because of our, well, prejudices. We feel as though calling someone it is degrading, lessening, bullying, if you will, and we don't ever want that to happen to you. Now, don't get me wrong," she added immediately in an upbeat tone. "If you like it, then we're fine with it. We just wanted to know how you feel about it and if you are content or would rather use different pronouns. You know, use he, him, his like Ed, or she, her, hers like me, or z, zim, ziz like Jerald, or something else. We are not trying to tell you what words you should use to describe yourself," she added, "but rather we wanted to make sure that you understand that just because that Brentsy fellow called you it, that you don't have to continue doing so. I hope this makes sense to you. We just want you to be happy. You deserve it." For 5 seconds, Balloony remained silent, then said, "So you've been spending your time not only doing what you can to make me safe, but also making sure that I feel welcome, that I feel loved." "Well, yes," Ed said. "You're family now, mate." "That's the second time you've said that," Balloony whispered. "That's also only the second time anyone has ever referred to me as family. Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to me. Let me think about this pronoun business, all right? I think it may have to go, but I'm not sure what I'd like to replace it with." "Of course, dear," Lizzie replied, her throat catching from emotion. "Take all the time that you want. Family is forever. We're in no hurry."